Pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed. So, I've come back here in the series today because, well, first off, I'm pretty much calm from the last time I started talking about Nerf-related topics out there, and now that I've come back, I just want to give out a quick little explanation of some new things that have been coming about because, well, first of all, if you're not familiar with the Elite Shell Strike and Trilogy, then well, just like what happened with other blasters in other lineups, including the Zombie Strike, Wrathbolt, and Dreadbolt, I feel like that we're onto a little something here. A little something new. We could potentially have multiple blasters that can adhere the same type of ammo, as well as the same type of, well, loading system that they have. For the Trilogy and Shell Strike, we both know that they use large orange shells, which can load up to 3 darts at a time. And of course with loading them, it's about in various ways, but the Dreadbolt and Wrathbolt, as a matter of fact, that idea of having the Nerf bolts, which are basically a new type of arrow that they're using for this generation. The Rebel Blaster also took this up, but the Zombie Strike series pretty much followed in and became a bit more popular with that type of ammo. The Dreadbolt and Wrathbolt pretty much just used this type of ammo as a way of simply giving out a professional style crossbow, and I feel like that it did a pretty good job. I actually own a Wrathbolt, so maybe I would be able to perform a good review on it on Aftersaw, but as of today, there's not really a whole lot I got going on about here. But the main thing that I'm going to talk about here is that with the Wrathbolt and Dreadbolt both using the Nerf bolts, as I call them, which are the type of arrows that would come with Rebel blasters as well, there are quite a few Rebel blasters that also utilize these types of arrows, including the Revolution and the Courage from the Rebel lineup. But as of more recent times, we got ourselves these Shell blasters. It's almost like we're onto a little something here, because after all, the Sledgefire, which was one of the first ever Zombie Strike blasters, has also had some shells. But they were much different back then compared to what we got now. Because the shells for the Shell blaster, known as the Sledgefire, which was one of the first in the Zombie Strike series back in 2013, did have itself a bit of a different construction than the type of shells that we got now. The shells that we have today are a bit thicker in design, and they also have a bit of some more grooved edges to allow for better sliding of the darts, as well as to make it more secure so that they don't end up falling out of the shells. And not to mention, the shell blasters that we got, they both hold them in pretty good. I haven't really noticed anything go on with the Trilogy or Shell Strike when it comes to holding extra shells at the same time that I have a shell loaded in, primed, and ready to fire. And for the most part, these shells and these shell blasters, they happen to fire all 3 of the darts at the same time, buckshot style. So nothing like the Rough Cut or nothing where it's just a smart AR system. Instead, it's just a full-on buckshot where there are multiple darts fired at the same time. You could do that with the Rough Cut with a full-on squeeze of the trigger or some other Rough Cut bait blasters. And there are a lot of them that I know about. Aside from the Rough Cut, there were a lot of other Rough Cut based blasters, mostly reskins and redesigns and like, or modified ones out there, like the Brain Saw or the Rivals Achilles or like. But right now, I feel like that the trend we're getting onto here at the moment is that here in recent history with some new potential Nerf adaptations putting it into place, the shell blasters making a resurgence as well as the arrows making a resurgence here in more recent times, I'm starting to think that we might get ourselves some comebacks here that have been gone for a while now, but here, we could probably expect anything to come about. We are in fact going to get some Ultra Blasters. They are going to put in some new innovations to it from Hasbro and all the technology that they currently have to utilize. But as of now, there's not a lot going on about it. In fact, there still hasn't been anything new about the Ultra lineup in terms of what the Ultra 6 looks like. But of course, we still are going to get a video sometime about the Ultra 6 itself, and we might get ourselves some leaked images about it. Only time will tell. But I guess we might as well just continue waiting until some other stuff starts to come by, and maybe then I'll have some other stuff to talk about. But for It's all over here. But until that happens, I'm Jay Nowak, and if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.